So in our last sitting, we got a message in the hymn 68. The last lines were, Ape Satgur, Aap Har, Ape Mel Milaye, Aap Daya Kar Mel Si, Gur Satgur Piche Paye, Sab Jag Jeevan Jag Aap Hai, Nanak Jal Jale Samaye. As we have been discovering that as the Gurbani tells us to do something, which is the basic message of meditation and chanting and whichever method we use, it immediately comes back and reminds us that you are not the doer. Don't get this thought into your head that you are the doer. Otherwise, you would be gaining on one side and losing right away what you are gaining. Why? Because the ego will develop. So, well, I am the doer. I am the meditator. I am the dhyani. I am the jnani. That karta bhav, that the doer, in order to remind that you are not the doer, it is being done through you. Gurbani immediately comes back and says, remember, he's the one who's really doing it. That's the rationale behind this thought, always running. And we always get confused. If he's doing everything, I don't want to do anything. Why should I have to do anything? It is his responsibility. Everything is under his own control, so why I'm being told to do anything? Whenever it happens, happens. You guys should not hold it. That's not why it is being said. If you control your anger and then become egoistic about it because you have controlled your anger, if you control your greed and you become egoistic about it, if you have controlled your desires and become egoistic about it, what have you gained? Nothing. Unbalanced, you are zero. Hence, while on this process, this reminder is so important and so necessary for every individual to bear in mind that it is the grace flowing through me. If I am speaking, it is the grace through me. If I am listening, it is the grace through me. If I am seeing, it is the grace through me. If I am sitting, it is the grace through me. It doesn't matter what we are doing. We are the instrument of activity, but what is actually manifesting is something higher than ourselves. And that was the reminder last time we said, Ape Sadgur, Aap Har, Ape Mel Milaye. He's the doer of everything. Aap Daya Kar Mel Si. It is His grace that you are achieving anything. And what does that achieve? Gur Satgur Piche Paye. He got you there. Sab Jag Jeevan Jag Aap Hai. Sab Jag Jeevan. No exception to the rule. Everything and anything that is His image. It is in His image. Well, having said that, Gurbani is going to come right back and say, well, it doesn't mean that you have been given completely the rain check that you can go and just sit and have fun and there is nothing to be done. Right? See how it alternately tells you to do something and then he say, remember you are not the doer. And then as soon as it tells you, remember it is His grace, His right comes back and say, but don't sit. And that's the next hymn. It starts, Ras Amrit, Naam Ras At Bhala, Kitbad Mile Ras Khai. Immediately. Well, it doesn't mean that you don't have to do anything. How would you get there? Well, it is His grace. Yes, it is His grace, but what is your responsibility? What is your contribution to that process? Kitbid Mile Ras Khai. How are you going to get there? How are you going to taste the real Him? How are you going to experience that? You also have a role to play in here, in this drama. And, well, I don't know. Okay? If you don't know, what should you do? Here's the answer to that. Jaye pucho sohagani. Now, sohagani literally means a married woman who has a husband. And the husband is alive. That's sohagani means. But that's not what here is implied. It is a metaphor. Jaye pucho sohagani. Sohagani here means the one who has achieved that state. Apne prabhu pati nu mil gayi hai. That's a sohagani. So, well, the only answer to that question is that you have to seek the company and the counsel of those who have been there, who have tasted it, who have experienced it. Don't just sit down and philosophize in your own mind. Don't build just systems of thoughts within you. If I do this, well, this should be right because I am a good person. I don't lie, I don't cheat, so everything should be okay. What else needs to be done? That's a self-created bondage. So Gurbani says, no, don't fall in that trap. The answer to this question is that you have to seek the counsel. You have to seek the company. That's why Sangat. That's why Sheikh Farid says, Ut Farida Sutya tu Dunya Vekhan Ja. So get out of your home. But go out with this idea in mind. Je koi mil jaye bakshya kete tu me bakshya ja. Just by chance, you may find a blessed one who might have influence on you also. So when we go to the Sangat, Gurdwara, the temple, the churches, the mosque, the mandirs, it doesn't matter. Gurbani says, this is the mindset you should go with. Je koi mil jaye bakshya. Look for the one who has that glow on that, has that aura about it. And they will be very difficult to hide. If they happen to be in that crowd, you will be able to spot them. Unfortunately, we do not do that. We go there for socio-cultural activity. And we have forgotten the purpose of Sangat. Socio-cultural activities were done in clubs, in societies, not in the place of worship. It's very unfortunate that that's what it has turned out to be, even though these are places of worship, places of meditation, but they have become socio-cultural centers. And we don't find anything wrong with it. We don't feel offended by it. The people display their shops in front of it as soon as you walk in. Remember Jesus Christ going to the Jerusalem for the first time? And what happened?
Money exchanges.
He found the money exchanges, the currency, because all people are visiting Jerusalem from all over the world. And these money changers were sitting right in front, providing a very valid service. Which is, you are going to go make an offering, make the offering in the currency of Jerusalem rather than the currency that you have brought. And Jesus got angry. You made the house of Lord the house of business? He literally picked up the tables and threw them away. And the money spread on them. Got so angry. Don't you see the difference? That the people are coming with a certain paradigm, and the first thing they see is exchange of money, people making profit. How are they going to walk inside with a thought that I am a meditator? That is why in every temple there is a barrier. Right? There is a slab. And on top of that slab, in every mandir, there is a bell. And every seeker, as soon as he puts the one foot inside the slab, he hammers the bell. Why? A reminder to the self. This side is the world, that side is the spirituality. Don't take both of them together. That's a boundary. Asiyanu ki kehne sa? Guru Dwar. Dwara. Entrance. The boundary line. Don't take the world with you inside. Don't take your parivar or your sansar. Because here it is only kartar. No family, no society. Only God is. That is the only thought. Not that God is not outside. But outside, your thought is not with God. Your thought is with the sansar, with parivar, your family or your business. But this boundary once you cross, here you cannot talk of the family or of the world. There should be no discussion about it. There should be no thought process about it. There should be no memory about it. Only then you can step into any meditative state. So Gurbani says, you have to consult those who have gone ahead of you. If you keep on making your own minds, memories, you will say, well, what's wrong with that? They are giving the service. Like we go to Gurdwara and we find people selling books and CDs. Well, they are Kirtan CDs, what's wrong with that? Everything is wrong with that. Well, people don't have a patka on their head and they are here who are selling a patka. What's wrong with that? Otherwise the people would want to go barefoot. See how we justify. I'm only selling turbans, sir. I'm not selling anything else here. And I'm selling gutkas and pothis and kirtans and kirtan tapes. What's wrong with that? Where else they will go find if not in front of a place of worship? And Gurbani says that is the wrong step from the very beginning. Bismillah hi galt ho gaya. You have to go and ask those who have been there. Jai pucho sohagani. And what are you going to ask him? Tusi kyun kar milya prabhyay. You are not going to indulge in any other. That's why you thought कितने साल लगे. ते तुम्हारा background की है, the family की है, the बच्चे कितने. You are not going to inquire about his family life or his anything like that. You only ask only one question, which is how to get to that state. What process to follow. You have to ask the right question to get the right answer. If you just go to make an acquaintance with the saint or the Brahmagyani, what would you do? You're going to come empty-handed. So don't indulge in any idle gossip. Don't try to inquire about his background or his life. Just ask one question, which is, Kyun kar milya prabhyaya? How to meet him? How to achieve that state? Oye ve parwah na bolani hum manmal to vaate na paaye. See? Oye ve parwah na bolani. Don't utter the words completely in ignorance and arrogance. Beparwah na ho jaye. Don't do that. Just surrender yourself. How menu? How malamala thoma paaye. Surrender yourself to him, to her, wherever you are, the person who is ahead of you, and surrender yourself and ask one question. That is, how do I get to that stage? What I need to do? What is the right process? What is the right method? What is my share of responsibility in this whole drama? I know it is His grace to get there. But what do I need to do to become worthy of that grace, worthy of that prasad, worthy of that benediction? What then, if you take that type of a paradigm with you, what will happen? Gurmukhiya sohagani tin daya pai mane aaye. That's one thing. You know about every spiritual being, every mystic. What have they had? Daya. Compassion. You cannot be a spiritualist without having the compassion. That's the beginning. Right? Gurbani said that somewhere. Taul Taram Daya Kaput. What does it mean? Dharam is the son, and compassion is the mother. If there is no mother, there cannot be a son. Dhaul Dharam Daya Kaput. That's a precondition. Compassion. Not competition, not judgment, not criticism, not evaluation, but compassion. हाँ जी ये बच्चा है बेचारा अनजान है अनाड़ी है अच्छा आया है पूछन दे दियो give it to him. And you will find, if you don't find that, then that's a sure short test indication that the person you have come to is really not there. If he doesn't offer you right away, that's what you want. Fine. And right? Then you know that this person is actually trying to build an organization for himself. Nah, he hasn't gotten there. He's still in that same power struggle. So, daya would be found there. Gurumukhiyan sohagani tin daya pai mane aaye. And what would they do then? Satgur vachan ratan hai jo manne so har na sakha. That's what they're going to do. See, here is the ratan means the most valuable advice, the word they are going to give you, and what is that? Say Satgurish vachan. Here is the word. Here is the most valuable thing. And if you accept that, go use it. Go do it. That's it. This is your responsibility. Go do this. There will be no ritualistic aspects to it. There will be no these don'ts and those do's will about it. Rest of it will follow automatically. You don't need to cross-examine them. You don't need to try to rip it apart. They'll tell you, just go do this. And as you do get deeper and deeper into you yourself will discover what other changes are coming through you, into you automatically, without you even trying it. They will automatically happen. So, Satgur vachan ratan hai jo manne so har ras khaye. Start it. Start eating that word. Start digesting that, what has been given to you. And if you do that, se vad bhagi vad janiye jin har ras khada gur paye. That's the biggest grace that the Creator can give you, is that you are getting motivated to get started on the path. That you even have had this urge. Where did this urge come from? It's not yours. Right? I mean, you had the urge to become a doctor, to become an engineer, or to become a lawyer or something, right? Those were your dreams when you were growing up. You didn't have the dream to become a saint or a bhagat or a meditator. So that isn't your own thing. Somewhere this energy has come to you. And it has been given to you. That is the biggest blessing. That's the biggest place.
Did you skip some or what?
Yes,
Huh?
2 lines.
You skipped.
सतगुर वतरतन है जो मन्ने स्वर सेवड़ भागी वड़ जानिए जिन हरस खाता भाई.
नहीं उस तो पहले सोहागने को साकर मिले प्रभ आए.
Oh, okay. How?
वे पर.
Yes. You're right. Sorry. भाई रे मिल सज्जन हर गुण सार सज्जन सतगुर पुरख है तो कड्डे हाँ में मार खाओ. That is the expansion of that line, that you are going to look for those who have been ahead of you. Bhai re mil sajjan har gun sar. Sajjan means the one who has ahead of you, who has already achieved that sohagani. Because Sajjan Satgur Purkh hai. That Sajjan, that individual has become like him, like Satgur. He has become like that, and he or she can help you to free yourself from the biggest disease of humanity, which is how man, ego, angata. He will help you to do that. ये हर रस वण तिन सबत है भागहीन नहीं खाए. So now it's going to give you the other side of the image, saying this is not bhagins mean without that grace, without that prasad. You will find that the world you are surrounded by so many who a har ras van tin sabat hai. It is available to everybody, but not everybody will accept it. And if they are not accepting it, what does that mean? Are they bad? Say no, they just don't have the grace. They just don't have the prasad. See, Gurbani does not condemn anything. Those who are living in the world of sensuality, they say, oh, that's okay. That's what you want to do. You want to live in the life of sukha and dukha, good and bad, tears and the smiles, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's drama. And if you want to get out of the drama, then that's also available. And there are a few who have taken that choice, and the others who have not taken that choice. That's okay. All that one means is the one have been blessed to move on that path, the other has not been blessed with that path. That's all it means. So don't, again, a beautiful subtle reminder that don't get so high on the hog, oh my God, I am blessed. See, I really got that. He doesn't. Don't get on that path. Watch it. Ego will come from the back door with every slight hint. It is such a insidious problem with the human mind-body system. And human mind-body system is the only body that has that problem. That problem is not with a cat or a dog or a cow or a tiger or an elephant. They may be very strong, very big. They don't have any awareness of that they are big. Human, even though he's not that big and that strong, he's aware of it. I'm somebody. I'm born to somebody, I'm raised by somebody, this education, this qualification, this achievement. We are, human race is the only one which falls into that trap. No other kingdom, in the entire kingdom, no other body falls into that trap. That's why it needs a constant reminder. Bin ए हर रस वण तिन सबत है भागहीन नहीं खाए बिन सतगुर पल्ले ना पवे मन मुख रहे बिल लाए. Man mukh is a key word here. The one who follows one's own mind, one's own thought process. That's man mukh. Based on what we know, based on what we have learned, based on what we heard, oh, that must be right. Well, how do you know that? Well, because there are so many who support me, so I must be right. It's mind-boggling how we fall into that trap. So, those who fall into that trap, what happens to their life? Oye Satgur aage na neve una antar krodh balai. Because they don't surrender, they follow their own mind, then what happens? Inside, anger keeps on growing. And why is the anger growing? Because they are learning every day that the world does not run the way they want it to run. Right? The child doesn't do what you want to do. The wife doesn't do what you want to do. The husband doesn't do what you want to do. The partner doesn't do what you want to do. And whenever something is not to your like, what is the first reaction? Anger, exasperations. And why you are getting angry? Because you're following your own mind. Right? If you are following the spiritual aspect of it, and the child is getting naughty and noisy, right? Every child makes noise. What's the big deal? Certainly the anger disappears. And then you tell the child to be quiet and he shouts even higher, and now you're getting even more exasperated that you are feeling that he is insulting you in the presence of others. And the child has no clue. He's just having fun. Right? See? He knows that. Right? Just saying no to dad feels good. He had no idea that dad is feeling insulted. But the dad, more he says no, more dad gets angry. And the drama never stops. Soon enough, both of us, you don't understand me, okay, you go this way, I go that way. What happened? Life falls apart. And Gurbani says, why is this all happening to you? Don't you see this? You have become the doer. That's your problem. You have become the doer. And hence you're getting angrier and angrier and angrier as the life goes by. Isn't that we say that bujurg ho gaya hai, bahut chida ho gaya? Isn't it? As we get older, we should be getting quieter and peaceful. Why? Because we have seen more of the life. We should be more understanding. I still remember it was a beautiful dialogue written by Richard Attenborough in movie Gandhi. And the dialogue was that Gandhi is telling that reporter, played by Candice Bergen, that I am a warrior because Mahabharata is inside, not outside. Mahabharata is inside of everyone. And there is a part of us which is Arjuna, there is a part of us which is Duryodhana. And she says, what kind of a warrior you have been in this Mahabharata of yours? And he says, not a good one. And then he follows up. That's why I have such a patience for all the scoundrels of the world. See, I can tolerate them because I see that scoundrelness in myself, and so I'm a politician, he's a politician. Why to get angry with it? But it happens exactly opposite to us. As we get older, we become more impatient. We become more intolerant. We become more unforgiving. It should have been exactly the opposite. Hey, you've seen the life. You know how the life works. So why are we intolerant? Gurbani gives the answer. This is because you are following manmat. I am telling you that's the only way to do, so stop arguing. I have 80 years on top of you. How do you dare to even ask a question? Just go, do it.
Actually, the elderly become more tolerant.
That should be the expectation. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Mostly I
Don't they become childish?
Because that is the child is never tolerant. Child demands and wants, and that's the more traditional model. That as you go old, you start becoming more like a child. You become more stubborn. You become more irritant. And little things upsets you rather than. And Gurbani says, why is that happening? Answer is very simple. By this time, you should have surrendered your intellect and said, hey, this is all a big plan. But instead, you are holding it on to much tighter. This is my experience. And that experience is supposed to be accepted, acknowledged, and followed by everyone around, which is never the case. It is never the case. It wasn't the case with us when we were that age. It isn't the case going to be the next generation and next generation and on and on. And Gurbani is saying, here is the problem. Bin satgur palle na pave manmukh rahe bil laye. Follow your own mind, you will only cry. Villana, runa chalana. Why? Oye satgur agge na nive una antar krodh balaye. The anger is burning inside. Why? Because there is no surrendering. And till there is no surrendering, the anger will always come and hurt. But if you get that secret, then this is possible, which is har ras aap hai, aap pe har ras hoye. आप दया कर देवसी गुरुमुख अमृत चोए सब तन मन हरिया होया नानक हर वसया मन सोए. If surrendering takes place, this becomes part of your being, which is everything is His. See, again, started giving you the responsibility, do something, came right back and say, it's all His grace. Keep those two things always away. Ape har rasa hoye. Everything, He is the fruit, He is the taste. He is the seed, He is the plant. To us it appears to be different, because we are seeing through the eyes of our own mirror. But all is that. Nothing is different. So, seek that daya. Aap daya kar devji. Seek that grace, so that you can also taste that Amrit. And if you can taste that Amrit, you will find that you will become just like Him. Sab tan man harya hoya, nanak har vasya man soye. Then He will really actualize itself from within you. From within you, the same mind, it will come out. Harvasya manasoy jada already ote hai, it will now become visible to you. You will be able to experience. Now, if you choose not to follow this, there's nothing wrong with that. Here is the scenery that you will be live through. And now, the next hymn, Gurbani gives that scenery in a very, very vivid form. Din se chade, fir aathve, rain sabai jaye. Subah hoti hai, sham hoti hai, zindagi yun hi tamam hoti. That will be your lifestyle. Sleep in the night, wake up in the morning, go to work, sleep in the night, go to morning. That will be it. Means the childhood will turn into youth, youth will turn into old age, and old age will turn into death, and another. You keep on going through cycle. Small cycle, large cycle, doesn't matter. Look at it. This cycle will continue. Aab ghate, nar na bujhe, nit Musa laj tukaye. There's a beautiful metaphor. Musa means rat, chua, mouse. Laj means laj, rasa. Chua rasa kat raha hai. Kya tha zindagi da. It's a beautiful metaphor that the man is being chased by a tiger. And he's running as fast as he can. Suddenly he comes to the edge of a cliff. He was just going to jump into the valley and he finds there's another tiger down there. So now the tiger from the back is coming up. So what to do? He suddenly finds a tree. And he jumps to catch the branch of the tree. So now he thinks he has saved himself because neither the tiger in the valley can get him, neither the tiger on the back was he cannot catch me also. And in the meantime, what he notices, there are two mouse, a black and a white, and they are eating into the branch that is holding. Just as he notices that, he looks up there and there is a beehive. And a sweet drop of honey falls in his mouth. So he's now enjoying that honey. He forgets about the mouse, he forgets about the tiger. Every time he gets a little bit, he looks up and the drop falls there. So this is the end of the story. The mouse eventually cut the branch and he falls in the valley and is eaten by the tiger. Can you decipher the metaphor? Tiger behind and a tiger ahead. Day and night. Both are ready to swallow your life, right? And night comes and night goes, one day is eaten up. And what is the branch? The family. You get hold on to the family, the society, etc. Now you think, oh, okay, fine. बेटा तू मेरी सेवा करेगा ना, जनानी मेनू संभालेगी ना, हाँ जी जिन्ना चर मैं जीनिया में 9 जन्मां दा साथ है थोड़ा. Right? I remember a friend who was told, we have 9 lives guaranteed. He said, yeah, I asked the Jyotishi, this is the 9th one. The astrologer told me, this is the last one. So don't build any more hopes. And who are the two mouse? Positive and negative. And positive and negative is cutting through, and the survival taste, the food coming, and senses getting satisfied in the meantime. Slowly, 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 the life ends. A temporary relief of thinking, oh, I am saved. That's why the subject of death is a taboo in every possible setting. It doesn't matter which setting you talk about it. Even when you have gone to express your condolences to a family, even their discussion will not be about death. We just don't want to face it. We ਹੋਰ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ ਸੁਣਾਓ ਕੀ ਹਾਲ ਚਾਲ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਲਿਖਾਈ ਕੰਮ ਕਾਰ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਕਿਉਂ ਗਏ ਸੀ. We will find every possible topic to talk other than, hey, there is a death right now. We are looking at it. We are facing it. We won't be talking about it. And that's what Gurbani is saying here. Av ghate, means the lifespan is getting reduced. Nar na bujhaye, nit musa laj tukaye. Every day that branch, that rope is getting cut little by little by little. That's why Kabir ji remind us and say, hey, you celebrating the birthdays? Janani janat sut bada hota hai. You think is you growing up? Itna karna janat. Din din avad ghatata hai. सालगिरह हुई तो उगदा ये खुला, ये गिरह से एक और साल जाता है. Right? You have in your pocket 70 years to live. At every birthday you give 1 year away, don't you? Do you know why we cut cake and put candles around it? Have you any idea? That's what is a reminder that you have blown so many years of your life. Blow it away. And then they put one for good luck. Means what? Don't let the next year be like the rest of them that have gone by. That was the cake cutting ceremony actually is. They put as many candles on the cake as you have spent the years. And then they tell you, blow it away. Why? I want to enjoy those candles. They look good on the cake. No. This is what has happened to you. Actually, literally the society is reminding you. We are going to put one more. Make sure that the next year is not like the last 49 that have gone by.
We're happy that we have blown away those years.
And that's what is Musa Laj Tukai. Little by little, it's going down. Gud mittha, maya pasarya, manmukh lag makhi pache pachaye. See, the same metaphor. Shahad di makhi. Gud mittha. The sweetness of the sensuality has you completely surrounded, and you are lost in that drum, in living, tasting, enjoying. And you have forgotten as to where did you really want to go. Bhai re, main meet sakha, prabh soy. What a reminder. He says, understand that your true friend, the real friend, is not what you have here on this ground. It is someone much higher than that. Because put, kalat, moh bikh hai. Put means the offspring, not just the son and daughter. Kalat means wife. It says this is just attachment, nothing else. And there's one more characteristic of these attachments. Anta beli koi na hoy. Neither one of them would be accompanying you to the other dimension. Gurmat har lev ubare, a lipt rahe saranaye, uni challan sada nihalaya har kharch liya patabaye. So, the first word was talking about the manmat, one who follows one's own mind. So, what should you do? Don't follow your own mind. Follow Gurmat, the one who is ahead of you, one who has already been there. Follow that intellect. And with that, what would have it? Gurmat har lev ubare. If you use that, you would then rise above the pettiness of the senses. A lipat rahe saranay. Lip jana, lipad jana. A lipat, na lipadna. Means you wouldn't be touched by the sensuality and the senses. You would come to the one who is ahead of you, to the Guru, and he will, she will tell you, Onni challan sada nihalaya har kharch liya patapaye. For that type of his soul, there is only one thing to talk about, one thing to discuss about, one thing to take, one thing to give. That's it. Which is Onni challan sada nihalaya har kharch liya. Everything is about her. Everything is about the ultimate creative energy. they do not have any other thing to talk about. So, this is what should do then. Gurmukh dargai maniye, har aap laye gar laye. They are already accepted there, they are already blessed, so you also follow what they tell you, and you will also be able to eventually get there where your real destination is. Gurmukhanu pant pargadda, dar thak na koi paye. Har naam salahen naam man naam rehan le balaye. Anhad dhuni dar vajde dar sache shobha paye. Gurmukhanu pant pargadda. Once you are listening to the Guru and following on that, on his word, then panth pargata, then you see the real path. Panth means path, pargata means it becomes clear to you. You start seeing it. Then dar thak na koi paye. Thak pauna matlab hunda koi raste ch rukavat pauni, rokna, to try to put hurdle. Then there will be no hurdle. If you, because you are not following your own mind, you are following the mind of the one who has gone ahead of you. And what is that? What is their mind? Well, this is their mind. Har naam salahan, naam man, naam rehan levalai. If they are going to talk about, they are going to talk about him. If they are going to praise anything, they are going to praise him. If they are going to remember anything, they are going to remember him. That's it. They have no other topic, they have no other subject to discuss. And because of that, they get to this stage, which is anhad dhuni dar vajde. Soundless sound becomes a possibility now. They already have that, you will also get there. Dar sache shobha paye. You will be able to then be blessed by that ultimate creative energy. So, Jinni Gurmukh Naam Salahya Tinna Sabko Kahe Sabas. Those who are on that path, eventually they get the blessings from everyone. Sabash. Then Sabko Kahe Sabash. He's good one, he's doing this. Tinki Sangat Deh Prabh Mein Jachik Ki Ardas. So, look for that kind of company. Look for that kind of society. Look for that kind of a group where such a atmosphere exists. Nanak Bhag Vade Tina Gurmukhan Jin Antar Naam Pragas. The biggest grace, biggest prasad you can get is when you get the inner light of that ultimate energy. So the message keeps coming back. Watch what you're doing. You have a responsibility, but watch that that responsibility should not make you arrogant. And don't follow just what you have heard, what you have read. Actually meet the one, look for the one who has gone ahead of you. It will make your path, your journey much more easier. This actually is the last hymn from Mehla Chautha. The next hymn will start with Mehla Panjwa. So I think we should take a pause here and open for any discussion. So next sitting we will pick up Shri Ram Mehla Panjwa.